he grabbed land like it passed a test. No language in common, just rule and divide. Fed us their flags, made us swallow our pride. They taught us to hate what we saw in the mirror. Now we pray to their gods just to feel clearer. Hey, we weren't even there. Split the bloodline. Names not our own. Borders like chains. Borders like chains. Still today, we carry the pain. Who gave them the right? Response ain't body. Who let them rewrite? Not our bodies cold. Who drew the line? Through our soul. Colonial goals. What they stole, we'll reclaim whole. We are the story they tried to control. But memory's a drum and truth don't sleep. Our roots run deep where their cuts ran steep. Now we rise with fire in our name, burning their maps, reclaiming our flame. Burning their maps, reclaiming our flame. You carved us up. We rise again. One Africa. Yeah.
Okay, greetings, everybody. Welcome to another Alkebulan Awakening series, this time in conjunction with the Data Economist. As always, my name is Oladedos. I'm the founder of the Emerging Alkebulan. And for all of you that follow us, you know exactly what we do on this podcast. We are here to decolonize the minds of our African brothers and sisters, wherever you are, and awaken your consciousness. For so long, we keep following the ways of the Oyinbo, the way of the Muzungu, the way of the Obroni, to bring solutions to Africa. But guys, it's not working. It's time for us to think differently. Anyway, good evening. Babajide.
Yes. One. Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Babajide or Jejimi, data economist. I use data to tell economic stories, around the global economies, the African economy. The objective is to always try and give a concise view of what's happening within the African space, using data, giving perspectives around why we need to take control of our own business, if I can, put it simply that way. Yes, we need to find the value in that data. That's why we're here, and we're going to try and see how we can apply that to the Nigerian banking industry this evening by asking questions of why, it just seems like the contract market within that space is almost like a slave labor. So yeah, it's good to have you guys on this evening, and I'll hand over to Flora.
Flora,
Hi,
if you want to introduce
everyone.
yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Flora Aiworo. I am an ex-banker and a guest on this. This is my first time here, so I'm glad to be here.
Thank you very much, Flora. Okay,
Yeah.
today's topic, guys. I'm just going to bring up the topic. The topic today is, it's coming on the screen there, slave labor in modern Nigerian banks. What do we mean by that? A lot of you probably heard that. I don't know what's going on. And the reason why we blocked Flora on today, because she did a video that went viral. And Babajide was the one that actually sent that video to me, actually. So I did post it. I posted it on LinkedIn as well. So you're probably going to get a perspective of basically what she's about to talk about. But in a nutshell, contract staffs in Nigeria have no rights. They're being basically used as slave labor. And it's so complicit in terms of, we're going to try to untangle exactly what's going on. But before I do that, there's a video that I have to play. This was by Senator Oshimole, a former NLC chairman. This basically links into exactly what we're going to be talking about. So just bear with me. I'm just going to put that video up now. Just bear with me. Okay. There it is.
About 60% or more of bank employees are contract staff.
Yes.
What it means that these employees who dress well as if they are bankers, when they are thrown out, they have no gratuity. They are contract staff. They are not employees of the bank. The bank, in my view, illegally and immorally, I emphasize morality because law can't cover everything. You know, they set up a secondary employment agency. They also become a private sector employer. They use that vehicle to recruit and then deploy to their bank, invoice a certain amount of money, for example, $500,000 naira in the name of Oshomole as a worker of Bank X, and then the labor contractor is paid 500 naira. He told pay me 200, and the labor employer pocketed 300. I will find out who is this labor employer. Is the same owners and directors and shareholders or associates of the bank. Those, for me, are practices that must be stopped.
Yeah.
You know, and the worst is that before I left the NSC, I reorganized and we compelled at least 2-3 banks, I wouldn't want to mention their name, to order or allow union to exist, or we have to do what we have to do. And when they could do escape, they accepted. But what I found out later is that they just pay what I call protection fee. Every month, they issue a check to the unions, but the union don't really exist. They don't have negotiating rights, because if they do exist, they could allow 80%, 70% of their employees to be contract staff. Absolutely. And so I said to them, the last time I had a conversation with the NSC president, this is protection fee, there's no union.
Okay.
Because the bank do whatever they want. Okay. There are several others. Now you have state governors who insist, and as we speak, are not paying the minimum wage.
Okay.
I can't live with that.
Okay. Okay.
So there are a couple of things the union must do. You need them. But union must be able to carry out the proper to say at which point do we do what? Okay. And if we take this line of action, who will be affected?
Okay. Let's remove that. Okay, Flora, let's start with you. Obviously, you're, like you said, you're an ex-banker, and obviously you left the space now. But your video basically, I can see how passionate you were in that video and how emotional you were in that video. So tell us, what was your experience as a banker, as a contract staff to start with? Let's start with that.
Okay. Let me start from beginning. Like, yeah, everything. So I got into the bank. Usually, you will not ask. Okay, it usually starts with youths in their 20s. These agencies look for very young Nigerians that are largely naive. They do not really understand the difference between contracts and an actual staff. That was what happened in my case, and it is obvious that it happened to a lot of persons that way, because I've also seen comments of people saying they did not even have an inkling this is what is happening. So you get into the system, and I remember the first time I got a document and I was like, this document is not carrying the name of this bank. What does that mean? And the person was like, yeah, you are working for the bank, and that's all that really matters. So these people, they don't understand in depth what is going on until they get into the system. And then I got into the system and I'm giving prospects. Don't worry, 2 years you are going to get this, 2 years you are going to get that, and you'll be like, okay, it's not sounding really bad, let me just stay. So you stay for the first 2 years, and then you start to ask, how about the promise that you gave me? And you hear stories like, oh, there's a policy change, we are going to shift this, we are going to have this in the next couple of years, maybe 1 year, 2 years later, and it goes on and on like that. So there is no real structure. You are just there until you basically get tired. So in my case, I've worked across 2 commercial banks. In the first bank, I realized that I'm just going to be wasting my time. These guys are not going to really fulfill any of these promises. So I decided to cut because I heard that the other bank was converting their contract staff to full staff. So there was a move. It was like many of us, we took that step at the time and we moved to the other bank. So we get there and they say, oh, no, we are not going to convert you just as you are coming. You are going to give us like 2 years of your time before we can start to talk about converting you to a full staff. And you'd be like, okay, 2 years is not so far. Before you know it, we are 2 years away from here. So I stayed another 2 years. And when it got to 2 years, we started to clamor, what's going on? And they'd be like, okay, there's a pause on that policy right now. Management is doing this, they're trying to fix that. So we are going to wait for another 1 year or 2 years. We are not certain, but just wait. You are going to enjoy it. So we wait another 1 year, another 2 years. I think it was on the 4th year, the policy came back and they said we are going to convert everybody that has stayed XYZ number of years. So we waited and they said, okay, so this conversion is not going to be automatic. You guys are going to go through a series of processes. You are going to write exams that whoever passes that exam will be automatically converted. And like, okay, that's still simple enough, quite simple. I mean, we've been here for 4 years. Some of us at the time, we had been there for 5 years. Some of them had been there for 10 years. Like, okay, so we waited and it was time for us to write the exam. By the time we started to write that exam, it was obvious, it was apparent that this was just a strategy to lay people off. So in every region, okay, let me talk about my region at the time. My region, everybody that wrote that exam at that time, so if it was 3,000 people that write that exam, about maybe 5 of them will pass that exam. Because I mean, the exam was not even related to the work that we do. It was not related to anything. It was just crazy. You are giving like 20 minutes to an entire exam. You have access to nothing. So you are, and we were lost. Like, what are we doing here? So people started to clamor again, like, this is not fair. Why do you have to test us this way? If you truly want to test our ability, you want to test our competence, you should be able to do that based on what we have done for you in the past years. Some of us have been here for 10 years. I mean, you could test us, you could check our abilities based on performance, not bringing us to. And they said some people that, you know, clamored, some of them were laid off. Some of them, some of the people that did not pass, that had reached a certain age, they were all asked to go. And for me, I stayed back. Yeah, I didn't pass the exam. I stayed back in the system. In my branch, for everybody that wrote that exam in that branch, there was just one person that passed that exam. Unfortunately, he later died. It was just one person that passed the exam. And you know, the entire thing went on like that and on like that. At a point, they said, okay, you guys are complaining too much. We are going to stop this. We are not doing this again. And you know, because of the way the system is structured, these contract staff do not have anybody to talk to. There's no union, there's no association. So you just clamor, and then when they get angry, they lay you off. So it's like that, like that. What really triggered me was the treatment. What really triggered that video that went viral was the treatment. So someone was, you know, having a conversation with me, and it brought back all those memories that, you know, I lost a colleague. I mentioned in one of the videos, I lost a colleague because of the ill treatment, because of the way the system is structured. These contract staff are not really seen as humans, maybe, because the treatment is really, really dehumanizing. Really, really dehumanizing. One of the cases, someone was sick and he was, you know, rushed to the hospital by his wife, and his supervisor insisted that he comes to work. He came to work from the hospital bed. The doctors had even advised him not to, you know, step out because his case needed urgent attention. And because his supervisor insisted, she insisted that this guy must appear at work. So the wife had to bring him to work, and unfortunately, you know, in the process of everything going back and forth, he also died. And when I posted that video, I also saw comments of people saying my colleague also died the same way because his staff would not, I mean, his supervisor will not allow him go to hospital. His supervisor will not allow him go do checkup. So these people are just there. Some of them call in sick and they don't believe they get sick. I don't know if that is a norm. So I felt it was peculiar to the bank that I worked. But coming on social media, I realized that this is bigger than I thought. This is a bigger problem. It's a pandemic that needs to be attended to. So I started to see people from different banks coming together, and they are saying, Flora, no, it's not only your bank. No, it's not only this bank. No, it's happening here. It's happening there. And then I realized that, okay, this is bigger than we ever thought. Should we even talk about the salary structure? Should we talk about remuneration? These people, okay, let me start from the moment you get into your bank in Nigeria. The first set of people that you are going to meet are contract staff, everybody. So the first set of people that you come in contact with is the security man. So you drive into your bank branch and the security man directs you where to park. From there, they probably open the door for you. Then they start to roger anything for the boys. You know, roger in Nigeria is, you know, asking for tips. And then you get into your bank branch. The second set of people that you're going to come in contact with are either you're going to the customer service, or you're going to the teller point, or you're going to internet banking. In some banks, they have different desks for different, you know, designation. Internet banking, or you want to carry out international transactions, they have different. Every single one of these persons are contract staff. From the driver, from the security at the door, to the customer. In some banks, they mix it up. The customer service agents, they can have, maybe there are 5 of them, 1 of them is a full staff. In some banks, none of them is full staff. Everybody there is on contract, and their salary is ranging from 80,000 naira, that is about $40-50 in a month, to around 200, let's cap it at 250,000 naira. So basically, in some banks right now in Nigeria, in the entire branch, from marketers to customer service to cash tellers, everybody is a contract staff, is on contracts. So these people are making, Senator was saying about 60%, they are over 70% of the workforce in Nigerian banks. They are over 70% of the workforce in Nigerian banks. So these people are earning between 82,000 naira to 80,000 naira.
Can I ask you, Flora, can I hold you for a minute? Yeah. Based on what Senator Shimada said there and what you're saying there. So basically, the setup, how's the setup work? Because from what he said that the people who work in the bank are the ones who set up the agency.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that? Because I know you mentioned that, because you're saying they're the ones, because of the people who are the bankers, who are the top bosses in the banks, are the ones who owns the agencies. So basically what they're doing is an insider dealing, where they're taking advantage of the staff to bring them in to make more money.
Of course.
Tell me more. Okay,
so you are Oladele and I'm Flora. So we have a bank, XYZ Bank, and I tell you, Oladele, I would like to let's organize an agency where we are going to employ youths that are not going to be directly under the bank. So okay, we have an agreement, like, okay, let's make it okay, you say, Flora, go ahead and set up the agency, but you're not going to use my name, and you're not going to use your name. So it doesn't look like we are owners of these agencies. I say, okay, Oladele, I have a child, or I have a cousin, or my husband is so and so. Okay, so let's set up the agency in my child's name or in my husband's name. And then we do that. So we start to employ contract staff to the bank. So at the end of every month, you and I will pay my husband's company or my child's company. Let's my child now. We'll pay my child's, we'll pay the salaries of the workers to my child. For instance, if we are paying 200,000 naira to each of the staff. So you and I will pay the 200,000 naira to that my child's agency. So that agency will take 200,000 naira and split it. Sometimes they will take about maybe 120,000 and then take 80,000 and give to the staff. That is the real people that are doing the work. Then the agency will come back to you and I and tell us to the 120,000 that is left, we split it within ourselves. So the people that are doing the work are earning 80,000 naira. But so you and I, we have them as another stream of income. Wow. Do you get? So to us, they are our another stream of income. So while we earn our salaries, we are also earning from that agency, because to the public, we are not the owners of that agency. But you and I know that we are the owners of the agency, and the agency know that we are the owners. So they do their remittance to us every month, and then me and you will not share the 120,000. So the people that are earning the 80,000, they are shouting. So they come to you and I say, sir, please, this money is too small. Then you not be like, I'm not your employer. What the hell are you talking about? I don't know you. You don't bear my name. So I direct you back to the agency. So the people, the workers, the contract staff come back to the agency. I'll be like, this money is too small. We are suffering. We cannot buy this. Nigeria is hard. This is not even enough to take us to work. Transportation, this cannot even pay our transportation. And you'll be like, well, the bank is saying they will do something about it. So they are referring to me and you now. You and I know that we are not doing anything about it. So this is how the system is. This is the structure on ground. So these people just keep working endlessly. Some of them, they get to 40 years. Once they cross the 40 years border, some of them are now 50. The bank just wake up and say, okay, you guys are too old now. So they tell the agencies, look for a reason, look for something, package something really beautiful to lay them off, because, I mean, they are old now. They have been in this system for too long. They've spent 10 years, they've spent 15 years, some of them, in extreme cases, 20 years. I know a lady that stayed 22 years. So because she's too old now, let's lay them off. So the agency send the letter to the workers. Remember now that when this agency is sending the letter, they are not sending the letter in the name of the bank, you and I. They are sending the letter in their own capacity as the agency. Do you get?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, she froze there a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, check it back. Go on.
Oh, okay. Flora, before you go on there, I'm just gonna say something. And then for all of you that are watching this, and this is basically why we do this kind of podcast, so basically to us highlight the challenges that we face on our continent. This is Nigeria, but it's not just Nigeria. It's continent-wide, where look at what we're doing to our own selves. We're in a position where we can actually do the right things for our people, treat them like human beings. You know, we complain so much about how the white people treat us. But what we're doing here is basically the enemy within. We're basically doing the same thing to ourselves. So we cannot blame the outside world when we ourselves are treating ourselves as like non-humans. Yeah. How can we have a banking system that makes so much money? They make so much money in Nigeria. They make billions of naira every year. Yep. And then we built a system where the main employees create an agency to bring staff in. And then what you're doing is underpaying them. And you know, and what gets me, guys, is the fact that some of these people go to church, they go to mosque, they pray. They pay tithe from this money. So where's your morality? Where's your ethics in terms of doing what you're doing? And you don't think nothing of it, and it's normal. And when we're talking about Africa being messed up, this is basically what we as human beings are doing to ourselves. This is basically this is why I brought Flora today and Babajide today, for us to highlight these challenges.
I mean, if I may just chip in there, you know, it's just unbelievable, which is why, like I said, when I saw Flora's viral video, you know, it just, I mean, she hadn't even finished halfway. I had to forward that video to you because, you know, it just smacked of what is wrong with Africa, what is wrong with Africans, what is wrong with us. If I'm not sure, you can remember in the last few weeks there was a viral video doing the rounds of all the Nigerian bank CEOs and their salaries. I would have loved to have played that today, but you know, I can't find it. You know,
I wish you had it.
I couldn't find it. Yeah, They were actually celebrating Nigerian CEOs and their salaries. And their salaries are in the hundreds of millions in
Say,
some
can we
cases.
not? Can I come in here? Can we
Yeah,
not
go
even
on, go
talk
on.
about the CEOs? Can we talk
yeah,
about their direct employees? Can we even
yes,
talk about their direct employees first of all?
yes, yes,
So their direct employees, which like 28-30% of the entire workforce, they
yes.
give them, of course, their salary, the lowest level is around maybe 600,000 naira.
Hmm.
They give them profit sharing every time they make profits, like twice or thrice in a year.
Hmm.
They give them leave bonuses and allowances. So they have more time to rest. They have upfront allowances. For you see these contract staff that are the food soldiers that do the bulk of the work. These people have access to nothing. In fact, they even rest less. In the entire world, everybody can go on a 1 month vacation. This set of Nigerians they don't have access to a full month of vacation. They have about 3 weeks vacation. They don't have access to profit sharing. They don't have access to loans. No loans of any form. No car loan, education loan, business loan, nothing. Yet these CEOs go out to do philanthropic work. They go out to set up foundations that are they just this is just the cover up that is making a lot of
That's the
Nigerians.
hypocrisy. That's the
Yes,
hypocrisy in the
Yeah,
system.
yes.
yeah.
I mean,
So we are not able to think. We are not able to think very deep. We see
yes.
all of these on social media. We see it in the newspaper, and I'll be like, "Whoa, these people are they are real." The people see when you are employing someone, and the person's spouse call you and tell you, Jide, this person you are about to employ now, he's my husband, and it is that you are going to believe that person because that is about the closest person human that is to that person. These people now they are running to the UK, they are running to set up businesses in the UK. They can never be trusted. They cannot even try and run this system in the United Kingdom. They can't do it there because they know that the law works. For your followers that are watching from the UK, I think you guys are closer to your government than Nigerians are to their government. You guys can let your government know that these big fives that are coming to the UK, they are trying to come and woo the government of the United Kingdom. They are fraud, they are usurpers. You need to let them know that their house is in disarray in Nigeria. Their entire house is in a mess. Their people are hungry. Their staff, they don't treat them well. You should let them know. You should let the government of the United Kingdom know that these people, they are going to woo you and then bring this strategy into your system and cause division among your people.
Okay, let me just chip in here. Let me chip in here if you don't mind. Yeah. So I can tell you for free that whatever they're doing in Nigeria, they cannot get away with it in the
They
UK.
can never.
It's impossible. So
I
all the
know.
things that you're saying that we don't need to warn them because the system would automatically
Fight
make them force them to align. So they
Yeah.
would align from the get-go. So let's not worry about that. But I can also tell you categorically that I'm sure the UK government is aware. They are aware of what's going on in Nigeria, but their hands are tied. They can't do anything. It's not their system. They just have to sit and watch and probably also take because
And take advantage as well. They're gonna take advantage.
yeah, they can take advantage.
When you both takes advantage as well. They're basically
Right?
we learn from them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The money that the banks make at the end of the day comes out here. The money that Nigerians invest in those banks come out here anyway. It's comes into the UK system, goes into the US system. The US system takes it, invests it, and that's why these countries thrive off the back of those funds. Now, you talked about the CEOs that have foundations. Yes, one of them was on TV recently. Celebrating the amount of businesses they've helped, with their foundation and all. Look, I know the ones you're talking about, but I don't have any iota of anything for those people because I know what they do. I've been a victim of one of them too, but that will be subject for another day. As in, I had to fly down to Nigeria at some point to sort out the money that was stolen from my account. Stolen. And I'm talking thousands of pounds. Thousands of pounds paid into my account. All of a sudden, I check my balance, it's gone. Why? So, well, certain charges. Only for me to find out that it was routine. They do this thing. They even have a name for it within the banking system. I mean, this was, 2010, circa 2010, 2011. So, which is why I was kind of like very, very drawn to your video. That, I mean, why do we do this to ourselves?
Why?
When this money was taken from my account, I almost ran mad. I was at work. Imagine I'm at work. I log into the online portal of the bank in Nigeria. Only that the money that someone's paid into my account, this is all business, was gone. I was frantic.
Sorry to cut you.
Go on. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, go on, Flora.
Do you know why this is dangerous for everybody, all of us?
Yes.
Because it is something. Okay, if I am earning, for instance, my entire annual salary is 3 million naira, and somebody approached me and say, Flora, I'd like you to do this for me. I'd like you to just give me an overview of your routine from your bank to the central bank. How does money flow? How is the movement like? So this person is talking to, let's say, a security personnel, because some of these security personnel, they are attached to movement bullion vans that take money from banks, pick money from interbanks, then take it to the central bank, and to and fro like that. This person has depth to information that they can sell. So by the time this person is giving the information to, and the person that is approaching the person is saying, I'm going to give you 10 million naira. What? 10 million naira, that is my how many years salary? The person will jump at that offer. So all the person just needs to do is to give you an overview of it. That person that is giving the information does not know to which extent that information is going to affect the system or affect human beings. I had a customer approach me, that should be 2018, thereabouts, or 2019 or so. And this person said, a young boy, he's a regular customer of that branch. And he said to me that he would like me to check an account balance. All I needed to do was just to check the account balance and give them the figures, that they would take it off from them. So he said he was going to pay me a certain amount. That was when I got scared. So I decided to, probe further, like, what do you need the account balance for? So he just opened up and told me that it's a syndicate. That's even if I don't do it, somebody is going to do it. And it's not like about whether he's sure somebody is going to do it, that they have people that just supply them information. So I began to worry that if I give you this account balance, and I look at the offer was actually very tempting. It was very tempting. But because me personally, I have the fear of God, and I would not want to jeopardize my entire years and my name. And I know that there are people like me still in the system. But how many? I cannot say that for everybody. Because you cannot take away the fact that these people are hungry. These people are not well paid. Somebody that is earning 1 million naira or 2 million naira in 12 months, his entire expenses is even more than 2 million naira in it. And somebody is offering him 10 million naira. That person will jump at that offer and give information that will put the system at risk. At the time the person is giving that information, he does not even know, how far that information will go. So this guy was telling me that, so after they get the account balance, they are going to pass it to the next, group. That group, they will work on the balance, then they will send it to the next set of people that will now carry out the real operation that they were planning to. So they were planning to, it was a government account that, had a large, funds and everything. So they were going to do something like fraud on that account. So it was not, so at my own end, what I would have just been able to do is just to check the account balance. I'm not part of the fraud. Like, I'm not going to be the one to carry out or to hack the system. So they have developers, they have, engineers in the entire chain. So all I needed to do was just to give the information. And, there's a point, why I'm bringing this is, there's a point that hunger will push you, that you begin to consider offers like this. And then it puts the customer at risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
It puts the customer at risk because your money got missing from the account. It may not be the person that gave the information that stole the money, but that person is a part of the chain.
Yeah.
That
No,
person is a part of the chain.
let me add to this. So what happened? I'll give you a bit of insight into what happened. I won't mention the name of the bank, right?
No, that's
Yet.
fine.
Maybe so at some point in the future, I probably would. Right now, what happened was I had to fly into Nigeria round about that time. I flew in, got to the branch in Marina. As soon as I got to the reception, the shock, because what happened was, as soon as the very day I saw that my account was depleted, that same day I wrote a very, very strong letter and I copied the board of that bank, the entire board. And I said to them, you guys, you're advertising on CNN, because this was the time when they were advertising on CNN. They were always there. I was wondering, what are these guys doing on CNN?
They're trying to bring you to another country.
Yeah, I know. So you're advertising on CNN. If you do not sort my account out, I will send all this information to CNN. Right? So I flew into Nigeria, arranged a meeting. As soon as I got to the reception, I just asked, oh yeah, I'm here to have a meeting with you guys about my account. They knew who I was. Immediately, they knew who I was, and they ushered me up to the top floor to have this meeting where, in the end, an apology was given. They asked if I wanted my account restored. At the time, I because of the gesture, I said, well, first and foremost, you have to apologize for what you've done. And, for that particular period, I just left it. I left it at that apology, which was sent to me via email. So everything is documented. But the thing is, they never got round to telling me what happened, other than trying to tell me that, oh, there were certain rules that applied to my account that they did not enact. Right? So basically, they were not collecting charges that they were meant to have been collecting since 2005. So they approved, and they now collect, which was it was a complete lie.
Okay, guys, let's get back to the topic. So everybody,
so basically, what I'm just trying. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because just to show that there are systemic problems, not just with the labor side of things, but within the system and the bank staff know it. Yeah. So in some cases they're complicit in what's going on. So
based on what you said there, and Flora, you can come in. So the fact that the system is flawed and the staff are not well remunerated, that means there's basically a tendency to circumvent the system, to commit fraud. Okay.
Yes.
We're on LinkedIn. I'm sure the people who are watching this, and guys, we're putting it out there. In order for you to protect your customers, you need to do the right thing. That means paying them well and putting systems in place that's going to stop the fraud or security breaches from happening.
Profit sharing, especially profit sharing. How do you even segregate? How do you share? How do you do it that when it's time to share profits, you'll be like, no, you guys are not for us. You like when they were not part of the work. They were in fact, they are the foot soldiers that get most of the work done. So why is it when it gets to profit sharing, you be like, no, you guys go away, and then a set of a very few staff members are jubilating, are rejoicing, oh, they pay profit sharing, and the people that are really doing the work, they are all sad. Do you know how dehumanizing that is? Do you know the feeling that comes with that? It makes you feel less of a human. Especially profit sharing. They should include them in their profit sharing. I spoke to one of the MDs. I've had the opportunity to speak to one of the MDs of this bank before, and he told me directly that I don't work for him, that I should go back to my agency to pay me profit. And I insisted, sir, my agency is not doing any other business apart from supplying you staff. So what other business are they going to do to make profits, to share profits with me? We are working for you. We are bringing our A game. We are doing everything. You are giving us targets. We are surpassing. We are meeting the target. The marketing teams, they are outside every day, trying to woo customers. And then they bring the customers. These customers bring businesses, and these businesses turn to profit. And when it's time to share the profit, you say, hello, excuse me. No, you are not part of us. We are going to, everybody should get profit. Why would everybody? And then a particular bank in Nigeria right now took it further to give, uniform to the contract staff. How do you let everybody identify that this person worked in a bank in a country where security is at its all-time high? These people are working like every day we go to the bank, we see these people, and then we see them outside. We're like, okay, by the uniform, I just get to recognize them that this person is working in this bank. So if I have evil intentions, if I have, info to nappers, I can invite nappers and, take this guy. This guy has a lot of information. I mean, these people have access to all of our accounts. They are the ones checking our account balances. They are the ones processing our collectibles. They are the ones, managing all our accounts. Pick this guy up. Let's, have her give us information on how we can, kidnap customers or, rob the system or, look for something else.
How do we know that's not happening? We don't know whether that's happening or not.
You understand? You understand?
But if I may just come in here, you've talked about profit sharing, right? You've talked about what you would like to happen within the system. Now, because, and I'm going to speak from experience of how I know the contracting space works out here in the UK. That change is not going to come from the bank. It has to come from policy. It has to come from government.
Yeah.
It has to come from government. It has to come from government. It has to come from the Nigerian Labour Congress. They have to sit down and say, okay, the Nigerian Labour Organization has to come in here because we've been on air now for about 40 minutes. You haven't even mentioned the Nigerian Labour Organization. Where are they in all this? Please, where are they in all this?
Flora, question for you.
Flora, I'm asking, where are they? Have you spoken to them at all? Are they? No, please tell us.
Okay, see, for I think currently the Nigerian Labour Congress in Nigeria is compromised. I think Senator gave a hint on that in that clip that you played. I feel like
even he said it.
Yeah, they are compromised. They are compromised a whole lot because we've already established that the real owners of these agencies are, directors and relatives of directors of bank CEOs and everything. And these people have connection to the chairman, NLC, and, executives of the Congress. So it's going to be difficult for us to use NLC at this point. It's going to be difficult for us to trust NLC at this point because they are stand. It's just like, I gave you money to advertise a product for me, and somebody is buying that product, that you are going to ensure that the person buys the product because of the money that I have paid you. So it's going to be difficult for NLC for us to completely trust the NLC at this point because for this cry is not something that started today. These people have been crying in time past. I just did a YouTube search and I saw that there was a lady that was crying and begging the government to please come and help us contract staff in Nigerian banks. There's no attention. Why are they not giving attention to this crisis? Because they have, they have what they are benefiting or what they are going to benefit if this system is fixed. Just like corruption in every other sector, there are people that benefit from it. So I feel like the NLC has a stake, in all of this. So if we are going to push it further, it's going to be let's look at it from the maybe Central Bank of Nigeria, maybe the House of Assembly, our senators, they can help us push the bill. For NLC, personally, I cannot trust their stance in this whole matter.
Okay, so with just to take it from what you just said now, and this is what I try to tell my Nigerian friends. I think what you may have to do right now to save us time, because we, on this podcast, there's always not enough time to go through all the issues. But the first thing you're going to have to probably do is to try and look Senator Oshiomhole, who is quite passionate about, because of his background, he's quite passionate about this issue, to try and see if you can push a bill that can protect contract staff. I'm
Okay.
telling you, that's the only way this can change, because you can see that, there are multifaceted issues
It's
within the
deep.
sector.
Yeah, it's deep.
It's deep. And Oladele
It's
and
different
I
than-
always talk about the Nigerian problem. The Nigerian problem, when I sit down here sometimes, you just don't know where to start, because look at, we're talking about the banking sector now. They just finished talking about the oil and gas sector with billions of dollars missing. Now we're talking about the banking sector, where everybody's behaving like we are now like Goldman Sachs or Merrill Lynch or a US bank. We haven't arrived. Look at the problems. You can't even deal with your employees properly. Basically, we haven't used the word, but it's almost like you are scamming your employees.
They
That's
are.
what it's looking like.
They
Yeah,
are.
That's what it's
you're
looking like.
scamming them. And these same people would get on, will go out there, their parties, you're celebrating your child's birthday,
They are buying yacht,
you're buying the yacht, you're doing
millions
all
of
these
dollars
things.
yacht.
Yet people's lives have been depleted. I don't know
This
how,
set of Nigerians every decade, 10 years, these people are now in their 50s. What can they possibly do again?
actually,
Nobody's
yeah,
employing
you
them.
said you said something earlier. So you're telling me that, you're going to have to shed more light on this. 10 years as contract staff. Please
Yeah.
explain that. Explain that. Because I can't get my head around that. 10 years.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So in my own case, I spent more than a decade. It was, I think, 11 plus years, 11 years and few months. The people that were recently laid off by First Bank, some of them 13 years, some of them 12 years. One of the comments was 20 years. They said they are now too old. In a particular case,
Wow.
one of them was even one of the contract staff was converted, and a few days later the bank realizes that, oh, no, this person is too old to be a staff now, so let's take him back to being a contract staff. So they brought the person back to being a contract staff because he's in his 40s now. This person has been working with you since he was 22 or 24,
Wow.
and
Wow.
so he's good enough to attend to your customers as a contract staff, but he's not good enough to become your full staff. So you cannot absorb him because he's in his 40s now, and he spent his entire 20s and 30s in your organization. And you're saying he's not good enough to be a full staff, but he's good enough to still remain a contract staff, which he has been for the past 12 years, for the past 15 years. And so these people come out and they are unemployed again. There is nobody that is employed. I mean, even the bank that they've given their 10 years and 15 years is saying they can't take. I mean, I can't take you. You are too old for me. But this person is still serving your customers. They're still at it because they are the folk soldiers. They are the ones, as every meeting points, service points. They are the ones there.
So basically,
From your call center to customer service. I mean, in-branch customer service. Seller points, cash officers.
so basically, there's deep age discrimination. Deep.
It is deeply rooted. It will have to take policies that are strict to be able to disentangle, because
Wow.
these people are so used to this system because they've enjoyed. It's like you're trying to take money away from somebody, so they are going to fight it hard. That is why I said the NLC may not be able to do this job, because it is deep. It is deeper than we can even start to talk for 1 hour. They will fight with everything that they have.
Which is why it has to come from the legislative level.
Yeah.
For me, taking it from your video to where we are today, this topic is a bombshell. You need to take it to the National Assembly and start from there. There has to be legislation to change this dynamic.
And do you even know another strategy they are using now? Yeah. So they have also created levels in the contract staff. So the contract staff now also have level 1, level 2, grade 1, grade 2. So the grade, if the normal salary of the contract staff is 80,000, the grade 1 will be earning like 40,000. Then they'll move you to grade 2. You now earn 60,000. They'll move you to grade 3. They will say you are contract. What in heaven's name is this called? Is this not evil? So the ones that the banks are saying they have converted, they did not convert them fully. For those of you that think that you are now become a full staff of the bank. If you have ever served as a contract staff in any of these banks, when they are converting, they don't convert fully. So let me give you the steps.
Okay.
The normal steps is trainee, entry level, that's executive trainee. We have ABO, that's assistant banking officer. We have banking officer. We have senior banking officer. We have the AM. We have the M. We have the SM. So when they convert the contract staff to the full staff, they bring the person down to start from under the lowest level, that is under the trainee level. So
oops.
This is really sad.
She's gone. So despite the fact that that contract staff has been there for so long, so in order for them to convert them to be permanent, they have to bring it all the way down.
Oladile,
Wow.
this is us doing this to ourselves, doing this to each other.
And yeah.
Oh, I think she's still there. Is that
Flora?
yes, yes.
I think
we can't see you. I think they took the light. They took the lights.
The light.
They're taking the light.
Okay. We can hear you.
Nigeria as well.
So this person that has spent 10, 15 years with you is going to.
You can.
Yeah, I think the data. Yeah, the connection is not going to be great.
Yeah, she can switch off the.
You can switch off the camera, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Keep the camera off, you know.
Hello, Flora.
Yeah, can you hear me?
You can take off. You can take the camera off, so you don't have to have the camera on. So it's easier.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah, so carry on.
Okay, so I was saying that the contract staff that was converted to full staff begins all over again from the lowest level. So this contract staff that has spent 10, 15 years with the bank is going to be placed under somebody that is a trainee. That is somebody that is just joining the bank, that is a year old or 2 years old, and then is going to be placed on that. So this new trainee is supervising the contract staff that spent 10, 15 years in the bank that is now converted to a full staff. So this person is going to start climbing this step from that level to the trainee level,
again.
to the ABO level, to the SBO level, to the AM level. This is mean. This is evil.
I mean,
it's evil.
It is. And considering if we just go through a bit of statistics here, right? There are 33 operational banks in Nigeria. You know, I'm not sure if you are aware of these statistics, but you know, plus or minus about 31 to 33 operational banks. Yeah, 33. And you know, the total market capitalization, just for perspective, is about 30 trillion naira. 30 trillion naira, right? With various, you know, MDs of these banks walking away with hundreds of millions, even close to a billion naira annually as salary. And this is happening to, you know, their contract staff with this, you know, kind of money.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and it smacks of I think
it's corruption. It's corruption. It's corruption. It's slave labor. It's corruption. And guys, this is Nigeria. We're doing this just to highlight the challenges we're facing. This is what we as Nigerians are doing to ourselves. This is what we're doing to ourselves. So how is Nigeria ever going to get better when we're actually scamming ourselves, when we're not paying our brothers and sisters livable wages, when the funds are there?
It's really, really sad.
It's actually pathetically sad.
It's really
sad. This is what we're doing to ourselves. You know, and Flora's she's given us an insight into how the system works, and you can see how corrupt the system is. And the fact that this is the core problem. Nigerians, we're in a survival mode. Everybody wants a job. They want some money coming in. The contract staff, unfortunately, because half bread's better than none.
Yeah, and like she said in her video, you know, these contract staff are always afraid to speak up.
Okay, so the fear is intentional. The fear is they sell it to them. is intentional. They intentionally sell it to them. So these people buy it and hold it very tight. They hold it very close because they don't want to lose their job. They tell them, Nigeria is so hard. Nobody's going to employ you out there. You're not going to be able to make anything out of yourself because I mean you're even spent. When I dropped my resignation letter, my regional manager told me that they are going to give me some time to think about it because he gave me reasons. There's no work out there. I mean, considering your age at this time, I mean, no employer will be able to employ you. And the economic situation of Nigeria is so hard. Starting up a business now, I mean, you don't even have the funding, you don't even have the capital to start up a business. I feel like you should just continue to manage what you have because a bird in hand is a dead
Yeah.
lion, whatever rubbish he was saying. And then I said, well, whether you send it later or not, I'm off. I'm done. And that was it. So the fear, they intentionally sell it. And most of these people, this fear of the unknown is just like a mirage. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what's out there for them. So they just say like, before you know, people are blaming them. Why didn't you upgrade yourself? Most of these people are graduates. I am a graduate. Most of these people are not. It's not like so. This system was designed. It wasn't even designed for graduates. It was designed for people that just finished secondary school. They're trying to gain admission into university. People that just maybe did a program, NC something, OND. So they are trying to raise capital to go back to school. That's what this job was meant. It was not ever meant to be done for 20 years. And now, because of this outrage, these banks are going to come up with policy that, okay, after 2 years, new people are going to be dismissed. It's still not possible. You can't dismiss them after 2 years. After 2 years, the bank should absorb them automatically.
Yeah, they should.
You can't use somebody for 2 years and say you are dismissing them because there's an outrage on social media. You have to take them in after 2 years, except there's an infraction on the part of the staff. Then you can take disciplinary actions against them. You can't send them away because there's an outrage on social media. You should do the right thing. You should over 1,000 Nigerians were sent away this, March 2026. Over 1,000 was sent away in December 2025. Just like that, we are adding to unemployment, we are adding to insecurity, we are adding to the hardship that is in the land. These people are not able to feed, these people are hustling from, we are complaining of car theft. Uber will carry you in Nigeria, you're not even feeling safe because they are going to get to a point and they tell you their car has dropped, their car is no longer moving. Everybody's hustling, we are all trying to pull our acts together, and then you are adding to it, and nobody's looking at it. So you're just doing it quietly. The bank that laid off their staff in 2025 December, it was not on social media. It was this outrage that made me know. Some of them also came to tell me that, Flora, it's not only this bank that you are mentioning, it also happened to us. Nobody heard about it. It was not
Flora. Sorry, can I ask you? So these staff, is there any kind of organization, things that anything happening that's going to help them actually highlight? Because do they have groups? Is there places where they?
No.
So and that's the question I was going to ask you now. So now, what would you want to ask the lawmakers if you have that opportunity? Yeah. And for you to be able to do that, I think we need to build almost like a movement, if I can use that word, around people that have been affected.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to build that movement. I mean, like you said, people are reaching out to you. You need to build that movement around you so you can prepare a petition, that you can take to the National Assembly. You need to do that. Otherwise, our children and our children's children would suffer the same fate.
Yeah.
They're not safe.
We're not.
So I mean, how would you want to take this forward? Because yes, you mentioned some solutions earlier. Those solutions are not going to be practical, like you've said. The NLC is non-existent. The Nigerian Labour Congress, basically, they are all in cahoots with some of these CEOs, with some of these banks, like you've alluded to. So what would be your suggestion outside the government agencies, other than the one that has been preferred already, to try and hook up with Senator Adams or Shiomole to see how this can be pushed, in the National Assembly? So what else do you think can be done to rein this whole mess in?
Okay. It's just easy. There are about 3 of them that I have as solutions. First of all, banks in Nigeria to be made to absorb their contract staff automatically after 2 years. Don't make them go through any rigorous processes to absorb them. Absorb them. There should be a law that if this person is able to scale through the contract years of 2, after 2 years, you should take them in and they will start from the next level. Not like they are going to start all over again after staying like 2 years. Take them in automatically. Then the second solution is pay them profit sharing. Okay, it's already bad enough that their salary is not even able to take them home, and you're still denying them of profit. Pay them profit sharing. This is the second most important thing. Pay them profit sharing from the drivers to the security men. It's even scary for you to have your drivers and your security men not, not receiving and they still drive you. They drive most of these bank directors.
Yeah.
They drive them. They are cook, they are chef, they are all on contract. And these people serve you tea. They serve you food to eat. Aren't you even scared? That's it. These people have, they can have connection with evil people outside because of hunger. Hunger can give inspiration. Hunger can give people inspiration. So these people should be considered, added to the profit. If the bank does not make profit, everybody bear the loss. If the bank makes profit, everybody should benefit from the profit. There should not be segregation of who eats profits and who do not eat profit. Because everybody, all of us, it was a collective effort in the first place. We are a team. We all work towards this profit making. So why are you go out of the room when it's time to share profit? Profit should be included in this solution. Then the last is for them to have a union. It is very important that these people are able to come together. So because they don't have anywhere to vent, this outrage again has exposed them. So everybody is reaching out. Flora, please, I'd like to share my story. And it should not be like that. They should have a union where they're like, okay, this is a problem. Let us look for who can help us. This is the channel that we can use. This is the channel. So when these people are, oppressed in the system, when they are sick, their supervisors are saying, no, you won't go to the hospital. You have to come and die here. These people can fall back to their organization or their association or their union and say, my bosses in my own organization is behaving this way. Is that the same way in your bank? And this person said, it's the same way. Then is a problem. Let's raise it up. It's going to be a national problem now. So let's take it up with the relevant authorities. They should have a union. Even
Thank you. Yeah,
market women, they have association.
Yeah. Can I just add to that too? Because in the many things that you've talked about, it just stood out, right? And this is entitlement. Okay, so you've talked about absorbing them after 2 years. You've talked about profit sharing. You've talked about union, but you haven't talked about entitlements. And entitlements could be healthcare, and so many other
benefits. Really, benefits.
All those things too.
Currently, their HMO is restricted. It's restricted to only. These are the same. One would think that since these people are poorly paid, they should be able to have more access to healthcare. They still have less access to healthcare. Their HMO is currently restricted. As a contract staff, you cannot have access to anything more than doing malaria tests and giving you the basic medication, malaria, what vitamin C, and basic anything outside that they still have to pay out of pocket. These are the same people that are earning less. These are the same people that will still be made to pay out of pocket. Yes. When I was going to go for my test, for my eye test, I was told that this is the limit. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me right now? They say yes. So I will have to pay out of pocket. And I did. Paid out of pocket. So the IHMO is also currently restricted. They don't have access to healthcare. They don't have access to loan that the bank will still use to collect interest from them. They did not give them access to loan.
Okay. So
go on, Babajide, and I'm going to round up.
Yeah, I'm just going to add to that as well. I think to top that off as well, I think in your move forward to the National Assembly, I think you also need to propose that contract staff, just like it happens, I don't always like to use, it happens in the US or happens in the UK. You understand? But for now, that's the benchmark that we have. The contract staff, their rate, must be, higher
Similar.
than, no, not similar, no, not even similar. I'm saying it
Higher.
must
It
be
should be higher because they don't have any other benefit.
Yeah.
Because they don't have
It
any
should be
other
higher.
benefits. So
Yeah.
I think that should be on the
Benefits.
list as well. Yeah. So
I agree.
higher rates. So I've got 5 for you. Okay. So
Okay.
absorb staff after 2 years, profit sharing, unionize, entitlements, and higher rates. Is there anything else you want to add? Because off the back of this, we can then write a very, very, very strong letter to the National Assembly, copy the senator in, copy,
Jide, you know why?
the Senate leader. Yes, go on. Tell me.
Okay, you know why? You know why the last option will not work? This is Nigeria. Let's not forget that this is Nigeria. The other 4, the other 4 are feasible in a country like Nigeria. You see that higher benefit, higher remuneration, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We can say okay, pay them. Let the pay be, transparent and reasonable enough, but still attach these other benefits like profit sharing. These people are just asking for the bare minimum. Just
Basics,
give them the basic thing, just housing, shelter, food. These are what these people are even they are clamoring for. They're not even asking for big cars and all the Lamborghinis that the manager have, and they have 4 of them in every 4 years. They are changing their Lambos. This is not what these people are even asking for. They are just asking that they are able to live in a decent house, send their children to a decent school. No, they are not even asking for so much. So if we are going to say that they should have these all other benefits and also earn higher, it's not going to work. Let's be realistic here.
Okay.
The Nigerian will fight it till they scrap out every other
fine. I
Yeah.
Whilst I may agree with you, I also want to disagree in the sense that the best thing to do is to put everything on your mind on the table.
Okay.
Put it on the table.
That's
Put it on the table, and where we can help, as in speedily. This is not something we're talking about.
Next
we have
week,
to be done immediately. Okay, it's just a starting letter. It goes to the Senate president, and it's going to be addressed to Senator Shomali, but obviously you copy the Senate leader and the House leader. You copy both of them in, so they know what's going on. You understand?
Okay.
And hopefully we can start to gather momentum from there. This thing needs to start happening. We need to start to call them to account from the center. From the center. Okay, we don't know what our president is doing. We may not be happy with him at the moment. Sure, we're not happy with him. The country is not happy. The country is in a mess. But in the end, Oladele and I and the team, we always talk about this. It's in our hands now.
Yeah.
We have to go and take what is ours, really. So you've started this movement. People are calling you. They've seen you as the point person. You need to leverage that. You really need to leverage it, because this is an opportunity thing, and to call them to account.
Okay, thank you. Just to round up, Flora, really appreciate you coming in, and we're just gonna go through have closing remarks basically, and the reason why we do this kind of podcast, the reason why we do this kind of videos is just basically to highlight the inefficiencies, the corruption, the deceit in the system. And once again, it goes back to what me and Babajide and Unduku's not here talk about all the time. Capitalism is basically evil. It doesn't matter how you want to dress it up.
Evil.
Because capitalism is evil. Because it basically erodes humanity. It erodes your consciousness. You don't think. People become chattel that you can actually step on, and for you to rise up. I'm a Yoruba person. When I just you basically you come together to build, to lift other people up.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, we've become the enemy within. We're basically using ourselves. We're basically pressing ourselves down, just for 1 or 2 or 3 people to get to the top. So how do you expect a country to rise when the majority are in a survival mode? Obviously, they're going to want to circumvent the system. They're going to want to do corrupt things. They're going to do, and the sad thing is, the people at the top are the most corrupt, but they're not being held accountable. Yeah, they go for the ones who are just doing the little stealings. But the biggest corruption is the CEOs, is the bank owners. That's basically where the corruption is.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
you know, yeah, I agree with you 100%.
It's basically obvious. We can see what's going on.
Yeah.
In as much as you want to have a go at the contract staff and the staff below, but if there's no corruption at the top, there'll be no corruption below.
There will be.
I mean, in this particular instance, Oladele, it is clear because the example that Flora has given is like bank executives setting up the contracting agencies.
Yes,
you understand? So
that's clear. That's clear corruption.
Clear corruption.
Yeah.
You know.
So
the bank, and in a nutshell. So in a nutshell, we can actually in this podcast there we can conclusively say that the Nigerian banks are corrupt.
Yes. Yes.
Straight out.
Yeah, but let me add to that. Let me add to that in the sense that we say Nigeria is corrupt. Yeah. But if you have a very, very deep think about that statement, corrupt money, the trillions that have left Nigeria since 1960, which banks, you know, do they use to send that money abroad? It's Nigerian banks, isn't it?
Yes.
It's Nigerian banks. They didn't go and bring, one bank from the air and transfer the money. No, it's the banks within the system that these same corrupt people within the system use to take the money out.
We have anti-money laundering laws that are applicable. Yeah.
Oh, well, that one, you know, that's another topic for another.
Okay, Babajide, final words from you, Babajide, and then we get Flora to give you final words.
I think my final words here is, you know, I want to say a very, very big thank you on behalf of, you know, the Nigerians that are affected by this particular issue. I want to say a big thank you for bringing the topic, you know, out there, because, you know, you were very, very brave to do that. Honestly, very, very brave. You know, people, you know, think twice before they come on camera and do that kind of thing. And it was very, very emotional. So I'd like to thank you for that. You know, and I think, you know, just to sign off, I would say, yeah, like we've listed what we need to do from here on, right? We can touch base offline and see how we can make that happen. It doesn't take long. Within a few days, a few hours, we draft the letter, we postmark it, track it, send it to them, and we wait. Okay, but we're not just going to wait. We're going to wait for proper feedback, and that we're going to follow up on, and hopefully through our podcast here and obviously your channel, we can monitor the progress. You know, so I think that's my take for today. Thank you very much. You know, and well done with the work.
Flora, final words from you for.
Final words from Flora. Okay, so
yes,
final words from me. One of the reasons that these banks have presented that they are you know, taking advantage of contractors is because these people are not certified. They don't have certificates. They don't have certain certificates. Some of them are graduates. So they say these people are HND graduates and these people are BSc graduates. So this is going to be my final words. If any of these banks will get to watch this video, if certification was excellent, nobody will go through training, because you bring your full staff right from university and you keep them, you put them in training. You train them. Nobody comes into the banking system knowing what to do. They are trained to do what they are doing. They are trained to think the way they are thinking. They are trained to behave the way they are behaving. So why are you not training this set of people? So there is actually no basis for you to compare. Certification is not excellence. These people are able to do the job. Do what like you did. That the percentage of professional staff that are finance, even banking and finance graduates, they don't even know what to do when they get into the system, because they've never used the software, they've never used the system, so they have to be trained. So the basis of certification is baseless, is useless. It's just a point to score, you know, baseless score. So we should take away certificates and face reality. Let's act morally. Let's be reasonable in dealing with our fellow humans. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Flora. And I'll say final word from me to you is thank you very much for doing this. Thanks for highlighting this. And I say to every Nigerian, every African, it takes all of us to change the system.
Yeah.
It takes all of us. When things are happening to you, do not keep quiet. Our keeping quiet is why evil continues to reign in our continent today. You're praying to God, you're praying to whoever. Praying does not solve no issues. It's holding people responsible and being accountable and calling them out that we can actually get rid of the corruption that's happening in our continent today. So Flora, thank you very much and thanks for coming.
Sorry, Oladele, before you go, were there any questions at all for Flora?
Questions, let me see, give me a second. I think there was one here actually. Yeah, this one here, but it's not a question, it's a comment. I understand they don't take university students for internships or working experience. How do they grow talents and add value to the education system? I think you've already answered that actually, because you talked about certification and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yes.
So you talked about it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. There's no more questions there. So thank you very much, my sister. We'll be in touch and let's keep building.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.